So, woo, like when it connects.
Oh, it's on the wrong one.
Nope. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Come on, Dave, back out of the way.
So it's the internet that keeps...
Yeah, for whatever reason, the cable keeps.
Am I hitting it?
Shouldn't be.
I'm trying to keep my feet still. Mic is working. Awesome, Dozer. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to keep my feet away from all the wires.
No, all the wires that.
So I don't know. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Get here.
Give them Chewies. They'll sit and they'll gnaw on them in here. Ugh. Dogs are operators, I tell ya. We get these, not rawhide, it's like dried compressed chicken skin. And they absolutely love them. And we'll go through a bag or two in a week. So, whenever we need to bribe them to behave or do something or get distracted from obsessing about going outside and chasing the squirrels for a bit, it's like, oh, let's give them a Chewy. And the two of them are a little too smart for their own good, so now they're like, oh, we drive mom and dad crazy. Give us a Chewy to distract us. Ooh. 1 second. I am gonna grab Oh, there we go. It's the Dole Whip. It's not my favorite scent, but that's okay. So my hand is doing much better than it was last week. Still a little bit of soreness on the joint there, so I am gonna... Plus my hands are dry as hell, because, you know, yay! Colder season, and we have put the heat on. So, not affiliated, not sponsored, but I use this hand moisturizer, Miracle Butter Cosmic Cleanse. And she has all sorts of different scents. But it works amazingly, especially in the winter when my hands are really just dry and gross. For the reason that they were the best kids and deserved all the loving. That is 1001% valid. Our kitties love the Temptations, where it's the crunchy outside and then it has the squishy inside. And when I tell you that every morning I wake up and my little calico marble loaf is sitting on my chest, purring and chin marking and like, hi, mommy, you're conscious. I love you so much. Cookie time. We got to the point where they were going through the bags so fast that now when we go to BJ's to do our bulk stuff, they have the gigantic plastic containers of them in a 2-pack. And so we buy those. Because otherwise, when we were buying just the little bags, we went through them so quick, it was like every other day. I love their treats. It's okay. I kind of want a little bit more marbling. Yeah, see, I can sculpt with this hand, but whereas I would usually, you know, just kind of go like that and push down this spot right here, that... What is it? Bones, head of the metacarpal, if I remember correctly. Is still feeling a little bruised. Party Mix Cheesy Crunch. Let's check that out. I know their favorite of the Temptations were, not surprisingly, the catnip ones. But the only ones I can seem to find in the really big, huge containers is the, was it like Backyard Grill combo? So it's like beef and turkey and chicken and just different meat flavors. I need to look online and see if I can find the catnip ones in the big pouch or a big container. I mean, 3 cats, you know, plus one of them is old man cat, so he gets whatever he wants. It's like, you are the sweet old man. It's funny, we gave all of them, we didn't do turkey yesterday, because it was just us for Thanksgiving. So we did a rotisserie chicken on the smoker, which was really freaking good. But since we were smoking it with, you know, different herbs and spices that were not pet safe, we picked up one of the little rotisserie chickens at the grocery store, specifically for the dogs and the kitties. And the dogs actually demolished their portions, but the cats were kind of like, no, they nibbled it a little bit and then walked away, going, we miss our goo. Except for our senior cat, who devoured his portion and his sister's. So it's funny, they definitely have their own personalities. The ironic part is my my calico Cassie, her absolute favorite flavor of the canned food is chicken. She has a 30-ounce tub of the... Oh! Thank you for this information. I shall have to do some kitty Christmas shopping. That'll make them very happy. Oh. I'm just gonna do. Too much. The other nice part about this is it's got the, well, for now anyway, until regulations maybe change, it's got CBD in it, so when I am having back or joint pain. Because yay, Sculptor equals arthritis. Okay, there we go. I'm off the lidocaine patches, so it's progress. Had one stuck to the side of my hand for almost a solid week. Amazon also has it cheaper. Oh, I hate that Amazon has so many of the things that we use on a regular basis, like especially just consumables, cheaper, because I absolutely, positively hate shopping with them. We are doing a... Come on. We are doing a blackout with spending from corporations, at least, not small independent, you know, mom and pop shops or artists or whatnot. But we're taking part in the blackout on corporations for functionally Black Friday weekend and then the month of December. So we're trying to buy from small companies and whatnot. Consumables, groceries and stuff. You can't necessarily avoid it if it's the only place you can get things, but we are doing our level best. Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, they've got you by the short curlies because, especially these days when everyone is trying to make every dollar stretch as much as they can, you go with, you know, what you can afford, and if, you know, you've got $100 grocery budget and are trying to feed 3 people and, you know, 3 cats and 2 dogs, you're like, all right, where are we going to go? Where are we going to be able to stretch that the most? So, I get it. It sucks, but you participate in movements like this as much as you can, as much as you are able. I am not a purist about it whatsoever. My friend was like, oh man, you know, I'm really trying to stretch the budget. And it was like, it's fine, you know? Every person does what they can, what they feel able to do. Thank you so much. Yeah, me too. Sculptor having hand kind of go kaflooey is definitely not the preferred status. Gosh, especially this time of year. I am scrambling to try and finish a large-scale commission for someone. And I really want to get it done and out so that we're not smack in the middle of holiday craziness as far as shipping is concerned. But also because I've got, you know, Christmas gifts for family and friends that I want to make. Yes, the giant puppet. Her wings are done. Her body is sewn. The head is done aside from having her little mustache noodle bits sewn on, but I'm going to do that absolute last. And I've got to sew a bunch. Oh, I like that angle better. I'm going to change this plug. I have a bunch of cut and hand-dyed, hand-painted sakura flower petals done in felt that are going to be hand-sewn down her back, down her spine, so it's like dragon scales. So that's going to be time-consuming. But the nice part about that is I've got the body sewn, and I've got all the petals ready. So I think what I'm going to do is, while I'm running the laser engraver, just kind of sit down there with the body. So, you know, you got to kind of babysit it, make sure nothing freaking catches on fire or laser stuff that it's not supposed to. But it's nice, just busy work with my hands that I can do, stitching the petals on. And it is a thing on my to-do list that needs to get done, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Oh, I like the purple with the opal. This is such a pretty clay. It's an absolute fucking pain in my ass to work with. And honestly, that's the other reason for the moisturizer, because it helps condition the clay and make it cooperate. It's been a while. I want to say Sculpey came out with it a couple of years ago. But, yeah, that's why part of it. They're Primo lines, so that tends to be the harder clay. They call it opal. And it's a translucent clay. Oh, it is showing up. Okay. So all those little sparkly bits are tiny little pieces. I don't know if you've ever seen that like clear iridescent film that some of the dice makers will use in their resin dice. How shiny it is. Or like the clear cellophane that you would use for gift wrap, which is functionally what it is. The resin dice makers are just using stuff that's been pre-chopped up. But it's these tiny little flakes, and they're absolutely beautiful. The problem is, it's tiny pieces of plastic. And so when you're trying to smooth down clay, or mix it with other non-sparkly plastic material clay. See, this one's not bad. I seem to have gotten everything down. A lot of times when I use this clay, I would get little bits sticking up. And it's so annoying to get it smoothed down. But once it fires, it's really pretty, because you'll have the purple, and then this will be kind of semi-transparent, but with all the little prismatic bits, it's very sparkly, and it looks like little veins of opal. He's very pretty. Favorite end result for some of the clay techniques that I use, but man, getting there is a little bit of a ugh moment. Thankfully, it's cooperating today. Huzzah. Go with some pretty light purple eyes to go with the rest of this. I hear you grumbling back there. You have had 2 chewies this morning. I think that is enough. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. It's like when I was doing worms more frequently before I passed it off to Shadra. The faux gemstone finishes. There's tons of tutorials online for doing pendants and jewelry out of polymer clay and doing faux gemstone finishes. And one of my favorite was the Labradorite, because it came out really, really pretty. It was a pain in the butt and very labor intensive. But, you know, like you say, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. Alright, so I need a contrasting color for our cheeks, which, easy peasy, I'll use the sparkly pearlescent purple. Part of me kind of wants to darken it, though. Do I have any left of the... I do! tiny little chunk left of the metallics line. As I keep my feet tucked up under my chair for fear of bumping a wire and knocking out my internet again. Good gosh. Pardon me, take a sippy. I like it. I want it a little bit darker still. Ooh. Speaking of our metallics, what if I add a little bit of blue? That might get me where I want to go. I want to get like a really nice, rich, royal purple. There we go. Use your tool to roll it out and mix instead of your poor hand. Yeah, that's going to be closer to what I wanted. See, that's pretty. My gosh, it looks so blue on the screen. I promise it's a really dark, I guess indigo maybe? Definitely a bluish purple. Oh, that's trippy. So this particular little container of the moisturizer is Clint's. I got it for him because he loves the Dole Whip smell. I am not used to it. I tend to buy the more fruity flavors, fruity scents. Don't eat your hand cream, folks. It containing cocoa butter does not mean it is edible. But I'm sitting here going like, what smells kind of tropical? Craving a pina colada. Oh, that would be my hands. That's why. In the back of my mind, I'm going, there's no way the dogs smell that good. No heckin' way. We have two big, sweet, stinky babies. There we go. Are they even? They are pretty gosh darn close. Where did I leave my... Oh, I know where they are. Bear with me. Gotta grab something. 1 sec. Fine. I need it up here. Whew. Okay. Getting my steps in. Those are the longer ones. The shorter ones. Okay. I'm sitting here and I'm going, I know good and gosh darned well that I made some sparkly boo nubs and some functionally holly berries, specifically for the winter worms. Having a moment of where did I put them? Ooh, up. Oh yeah, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. So I am kind of pressing in, cutting in the line for the mouth, and here's this one really pretty sparkly piece, but it's sticking up over the edge of the lip, and because of its placement, there wasn't really anywhere to smooth it down, so easier to just use the tweezers and remove it. Oh, ha! That would be interesting. Give one of the worms a sparkly grill. Okay, let's put the X-Acto back, just because seems like asking for an accident when it's right near the other tools that I just reach for and grab. Smiley happy baby. Being as it is my intent to give them a plate with cookies, in the open mouth, so they'll be able to maybe have one of those cookies in their mouth. I've come to realize over the years that if I'm trying to do a cute little blepping tongue, that if I mix the beige kind of flesh-toned Gulpy, which is, I won't say completely translucent, but if it's thin, it tends to be a little bit. and mix it with the pink. Then when it bakes, you get a tongue that looks a little bit more fleshy, a little bit less like clay, weirdly. There we go, I like that color. I almost wonder if I saved those flakes and did like a solid black dragon and then use those tiny little flakes set in as like little glittery scales. Be kind of cool. Waste not, want not, right? There we go. All right. Polling the audience, what kind of cookies should our little friend have a plate of? I could see ginger snaps, that'd be cute. Ginger snaps or gingerbread? Oh, come back. Oh, that turned out really pretty and sparkly. I like that. A nice metallic sheen to it. Ginger snaps are good, and they're a nice simple cookie. Gingerbread I find are fun to decorate, but like as a cookie itself, they're not my favorite. Honestly, my favorite holiday cookie from my childhood has got to be something that I haven't made in years because they're really just time consuming. But my grandma in New York used to make them all the time. Strufelas, which are basically just these little teeny balls of fried dough that are then put on a plate and drizzled with honey and the little nonpareils. I have vivid memories of going to New York and her just having huge plates of them. They were so good. But yeah, they take forever. It's not unlike making gnocchi now that I think about it. It's because you've got your dough and then you're rolling out and cutting all these teeny tiny little nuggets of dough and then having to fry or bake or boil them. Alright, I am going to check my work just because it's been forever and a day since I've made a boo. Do. Where's my type? Man, the internet is definitively laggy for us today. Okay, yeah, I was right. That's functionally it. The Our Choice soft frosty lemon ones. Oh, those are good too. And what is it about grandmas? They always have the best treats, the best cookies. Alright, so... Let's see, what's gonna be the best way to... Oh, I know! I'm sitting here going like, what's gonna be the best way for me to be able to make the kind of crackly looking top for the ginger snaps, but I know exactly how I'm gonna do it. Let's see what I have for brown clays that'll work. And then, of course, we have friends that their kiddos are in Girl Scouts, so, you know. The Cookie Monsters come shuffling around once a year. Tiny, tiny bit of yellow. It's gold, but that's not necessarily bad, because that could give me a little bit of that sugar sparkle. Let's see what this makes. Bring a little friend there. You'd think after last week I would have remembered to bring down the pasta roller. Oh. No, I'm probably gonna need this. That's okay. Definitely gonna need the pastel chalks. Because this will be close, but I don't think it's gonna be quite the color I'm looking for. Are you snoring? So our newest dog, Hope, who was a rescue from a high kill shelter in Texas, is a white pit / Catahoula mix, and she is 65 to 75 pounds of just in marshmallow. Like, she thinks she's a 5-pound lap dog, which, you know, they all kind of do. But she's white with this, I want to say kind of like reddish brown tan spotting. There's my aluminum foil. There is my empty box of aluminum foil. That is, not helpful. All right, going for another walk. But we joke that she's our big cinnamon roll. She looks kind of like she's got cinnamon sprinkles. And currently, the cinnamon roll is curled up into a almost perfect little U on the dog bed in here. So she looks even more like a cinnamon roll. So we'll see how this works. Let's make the crackles in our cookies. I think it'll work, especially if I use the aluminum foil after I dust them with the chalk pastels. Because in theory, then it'll sort of cut through the dry surface and give that like kind of cracked clay sort of look. This is definitely too light. That's okay. It's close to where we want to be. And I think the chalk pastels will do the rest. Do 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 do. Are you the color I want? That's really dark. I don't think so. Almost feel like you're a little too red. Oh. Yeah, I need to mix up some. I think that might be close to what I'm looking for. That off to the side. I love this technique because sometimes you just can't seem to mix the exact color that you're looking for with polymer clay, and like I took a incredibly small chunk of that. So when you need additional colors, but your clay is just not quite cooperating in mixing up the exact color you're looking for, we say, alrighty. Oh, we need there's our half dozen for the plate, but we need a cookie for our little worm friend. So we'll do 7. Alright. You go back in with my browns. You, let's see if this works. Huh. I do believe that we might actually have made ginger snaps. Look at that. That's pretty cool. It's always nice when an idea comes together and actually works the way you wanted it to. Yeah, she's definitely dozing. I can hear Hope snoring behind me. Sweet girl. All right. Okay. So... they're so tiny. I'm trying to get like small wrinkles that'll work out and show up on them. Alright, so it works better if I have a hard surface under them. Duly noted. Haha! Oh, I'm so glad it's working. Let's try a new side just to mix up the crinkles. Alright, I probably want some liquid Sculpey to hold it onto the plate, because otherwise they're gonna go sliding off into the ether, and that's no fun. Hello, hello! I think that we might have nailed the ginger snap look. So the image I was basing them off of was this. And taking the cookies, dusting them with the darker pastel, and then pushing crumpled up aluminum foil into them. Gives us some of those irregular kind of crinkle looks. I think it's pretty close, honestly. For the scale that we're working at, I'm fairly chuffed. So now... actually, let's be smart. And move the thing with all of the powdered pastel dust out of the way. It's funny, I've been watching my friend Jen do prep for MFF, and she's been doing a lot of kind of pun pieces or fun little combo pieces with some mini brands boxes and containers. And they're really stinking cute. So for the past week or so, I've been watching her sculpt tons of tiny little food. And there is something kind of satisfying, you know, about, oh hey, here's a thing from real life. Oh look, I have made it tiny and wee. Jen Kiwi. She works very tiny with her sculpts to begin with, so the mini brands foods are kind of the perfect size for a lot of her sculpts. Having little critters, you know, crawling out of ice cream containers or whatnot. And she's been sculpting tiny food to sort of go along with them. And the results have been just really freaking adorable. I think she's posted pictures to her Blue Sky. Let's double check so I'm not spoilering. Did you post them? Did you post them? Oh, I don't see the bird ones yet. Okay. I won't spoiler it. There is a bird pun that is absolutely adorable. But so like a tiny Cheez-Its box, which if I remember correctly, she's doing a little circle sitting on top of, which is absolutely hilarious. But each and every one of these tiny little individual Cheez-Its, she sculpted. The griffin is sitting on a box of Rice Krispie treats. She hand sculpted all of the Rice Krispie treats. I do not know how this woman sculpts so tiny. She has magical detail sculpting fingers because just wow. I am struggling to sculpt tiny little cookies. The capybara is also freaking adorable. I loved him. I feel like our little friend needs something else. I don't know. I just like the cookies are really cute. I could see a glass of milk. Yeah, that would make sense. Milk and cookies. It's going to be a mug of milk, though, because there's not really a good way for me to have a translucent glass unless I'm resin casting them, and the resin cast cups, I have a mold for like the little bubble lid coffee cups, which are really neat. However, they do tend to be kind of obnoxious to cast, and do I have no other just white mugs to go with the plate? Oh, well, I guess it goes the blue and the gold. That kind of works. I would have used the fancier plate if I had known I did not have any white mugs, but that's alright. That's okay. And I mean, this is easy because it's just a little bit of white clay. So, simple enough. Yeah, I've come to the realization that I can deal with the non-UV resin. Oh no! Should have wiped off hands from the gingerbread colored clay first. Oh god, yeah, see, that's getting all over the white clay. That's not gonna work as milk anymore. Chocolate milk, maybe. But I have come to the realization that while I can do epoxy resin, because I can, for the large part, put it outside on the deck to cure, UV resin does not make my brain happy and tends to summon the migraine beast, so no more UV resin for me. Which honestly doesn't hurt my feelings because, truthfully, it stinks to high heaven. It's not pleasant to work with. Yeah, I think that'll work, especially if I do the high gloss glaze on top to make it look nice and shiny. Ooh. What if? Oh, I got a better freaking idea. Haha! Sitting here trying to smash a tiny little bit of clay into the cup and going, it doesn't really look like liquid. I'm really not in the mood to deal with resin today. And wait a frackin' minute. I have liquid clay. I also happen to have white pastel, chalk pastel. So because the liquid clay I have is translucent, we're going to take just a little off the top on the white pastels. And then, look at this, think smarter, not harder. A little bit of the bloop, bloop, bloop. Pass clay into the cup. And then not going to use that paintbrush because it had a dark brown on it. Are you clear of anything? Yes, you are. Take some of that powdered white chalk pastel. Where I get to feel clever. We're gonna do one more drop of the liquid clay. And we're gonna mix it. This will either work spectacularly or fail spectacularly. Oh. I think we want a little tiny bit more of the powder, but really close. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna... I know what I'm gonna mix in with that in addition to the powdered, or shaved pastel. 'Cause it's Christmas. Everything's magical. We're gonna take a tiny little bit of the mica powder. Mix that up. All right. Now let's mix and see where we're at. And there we freaking go, folks. Milk and cookies for Santa Worm. Love it. I clean up our space. We're gonna clean up the lip of that mug because this teacup has this beautiful, delicate gold edging. And I want to show that and not just white powder. I don't know, that's pretty heckin' cute to me. Oh, and I know the perfect final touch for this friend. Mostly because I know who absolutely loves it in our yard when we end up with extra holiday cookies that don't get eaten. See if I could channel my inner Kiwi. Let's sculpt something. Cool. What are you sculpting? A bird. Really? Neat. Why do you only have a tiny bit of clay? It's gonna be freaking tiny. Alright. Can I do this, ladies and gents? That's gonna be so skinny, it's gonna be too small. Alright, so let's add a little bit to it. Fat little orb of a bird. They've got their little black masks, but they've also got these tiny little gray beaks. Now I need 2 of the tiniest little wings imaginable. Because I like it. And sculpts have a story. We're gonna give the tiny little bird friend a cookie on their head too, with maybe some little bites pecked out of it. Oh my gosh, I think that is the tiniest bird I have ever sculpted. Ooh. How do we peck bird bites out of a cookie? There we go. That looks maybe convincingly like hello dog hair or cat hair. I think that looks convincingly like they've been nibbling little bits out of it. So we're gonna do just a wee dab of the liquid clay there for the cookie, the cardinal. You up, little friend? I'm sorry, I'm cackling because they're so freaking tiny. Oh my goodness. They're just itty bitty. Okay. So there they've got a little bird friend that is sitting there pecking at a cookie, sharing with them. Down a little bit. They're enjoying some milk and cookies together before Santa gets here. Alright, that was fun. Oh! Red polymer clay. Thank you so much. Thank you for the idea. I love the milk and cookies. The red polymer clay, for whatever reason, stains my hands more than any other clay color. Something about the red pigment that the companies use. And it doesn't matter if I'm using Sculpey or Primo or the, like, craft store brand clay or Cos clay. It's always the red. Which is funny, because our local library, I've been going to the clay crafting nights that they have, and there's a what's the Rasputin point redeem? Oh gosh, that's a good question. I legitimately do not remember. It's been so long since we've played it. Gah. Hold on a second. Let me see if I'm able to check it on my back end. Finding out now. Oh. It's funny, that's one that the kid picked. I let them pick actually quite a number of my point redemption things. So I'm like, you know all the memes, you're into what's cool. Oh, woof! I did set it for a bit. Okay, 2K, apparently. It's a 2,000 point redemption. I think because it plays a good chunk of the song and it's a long one. I need to go back through there because there's a lot of other fun stuff that I could add to the point redemption thing. I know there's a way that you can do so people can have like a little voice chat in the stream. And now that the kid is not only doing their art every day, but they've started doing PNG tubers, which come out really freaking cute. Boney M song. I guess? Question mark? When I tell you, I literally went, "Hey kid, find me some fun songs for point redemption." They were like, "Okay." But I know there's a thing that you can do to have like a little meep 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 mascot at the edge of the chat that speaks what people type. And I was like, dude, make me like a fun little, I don't know, little goblin mascot so people could talk. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. We always have the little gay pride Crocogator dance during silly songs. Oh. I definitely want to add more stuff. I think that's probably going to be what happens over the holiday break. Is rope the kid in again and be like, yo, help me add some fun stuff to the stream, some fun interactive things people can press and click and do. Alright, so the next one I wanted to do was a snow snarler. I want to say I was going to make that gingerbread. What's more? Oh. No, I know exactly what I want to do. Oh, it doesn't have antlers, though. Heck with it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do a Green Man styled snow snarler with lots of leaves and fun foresty bits, because that'll be a good time. This is definitely going to be one of those, why did I get myself into this? But that's okay. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird little point bit thingamajiggers attached to the stream elements. I set it up forever ago. I need to sit down with the small human over holiday break. Be like, what else? Sitting here like, do I want to add glow-in-the-dark clay to this? Yes, of course. Why not? The answer is always yes. It's ironic. They were all excited about going to the movies over their Thanksgiving break. I know we could go see FNAF in the theaters. And internally, I'm kind of cringing because, you know, Cawthorn is problematic in some ways, but they really, really love it. And although they have completely written off any kind of... I should. That absolutely needs to go on the to-do list for when I am updating that. But they've completely washed their hands of Harry Potter stuff. But FNAF, they have a fondness. It's like, alright, well, you need to make your own choices about the media you consume and the creators that you support. Ooh. Ooh, I don't even want to mix it all the way. I'm just gonna marble a little bit of darker green in here. And then we're gonna sculpt our snarler, and I'm gonna take some of the cosplay leaves. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that was not a good idea. Ow. I'm sorry, hand. Pardon me. Apparently better does not mean 100% quite yet. That's alright. There's a reason I'm avoiding some of the harder clays. I'm liking the way this is looking. I'm starting to think I don't have enough of it for a snarler necessarily. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fake it out. That's okay. So what we do when you have mixed up a custom color of polymer clay and you go, oh, I love that. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Yay. And then you realize, oh shit, I don't have quite enough for the thing I wanted to sculpt. We fake out the inside. We go, okay, let me take this very dull beige. Hello. Hello, babies. They're trying to decide if they want to. We'll take this very plain beige clay and we'll go, all right, well, Really like the color, but it's not enough to make the egg the size I want, or the head. So we just go, all right, well. Like the opposite of a Kinder Egg. The inside is boring and the outside is pretty. I guess not entirely the opposite. The outside of Kinder Egg is chocolate, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Come here, you. There we go. Well, shoot, I had pink gemstones. I'm doing like a green man. Green woman. I have this really pretty navy blue. That works for me. Yeah, this is still a smaller egg, but at least it's not microscopically tiny. Come here. I'm gonna warm this up and condition it a little bit though, because it is too hard to. There we go. See, that's the fun part, is that they sell clay conditioner. But really, functionally, all it is liquid clay and oil. Hello, cat hair. Goodbye, cat hair. So, moisturizing your hands with hand lotion and massaging it into the clay, that's exactly the same thing. Alright, so let's see, let's wipe the beige off my hands. Let's... Oh! Thank you, Dozer. That is definitively one of the kids' sounds. It's funny, they drew the little white yip, they call it the yippy creature, for one of their daily uploads. I need to get them to draw one for me for the stream. Yo kid, make me a little yippy dude. Alright, so there's our ear horn thingies. Mm. It's funny, I drew the little PNG HM on the side, but the kid is the one who set up the little talkie-talkie animation for me. I love that they're getting more into animation and just really having fun with their art. No, we're gonna be smart. We're gonna use the table to press instead of our poor abused hand. There we go. That's better. So, gonna do. Yeah, there we go. I like that. They've just started kind of getting a little bit more into the more detailed PNG tubers, and I was like, hey, if you need a practice dummy. They did a trial run, I think it was one of their little cats, and they were groaning after the fact. They said, oh, it's got like 43 layers. Jeez, kid, what does this thing do? But they've been very heavy into the animation side of things, which, like, that's so cool. I'm so glad you're having fun. The only downside to the glow-in-the-dark clay, I love it. It's really pretty, it glows super duper bright, and it's fun to work with, is it tends to be really, really soft. And so, crumbs, when I'm incorporating it into something, I've got to be kind of careful handling it, otherwise it just sort of turns into like used chewing gum texture. I don't know what it is about it. It must be something about either the base that they use or the glow-in-the-dark pigment that they add to it. Uh-oh. So what we've got here, because I did a fake out on something a little bit larger and I'm pushing and pulling at this clay, is right, where did you go? Right there. I can feel a bubble. And if I sculpt without taking care of that, then when it cooks, I have a chance of ending up with a big old crack in my clay. And since we don't want that, we're gonna go, nope. Push all the air out. Reseal it. I think now. Yeah, there we go. As I'm smoothing it, I could feel like the void in the clay, and I'm going, ah, shit. That'll be a problem down the road. Let's take care of that now. So it's not a later me problem. Yeah, that's one of those, like, I've been there before where I've had the bubble and it cracks and, you know, an hour or so's worth of sculpture just kind of in the toilet. And that's definitely a thanks past me, jerk. Let's put the phone there. Alright, so since we are a snow snarler, we need to get your ears on. And I also need to do your mask. So let's see. What's the matter, babies? What? Oh, I never get them to line up that perfectly. Cool. Getting the green mark like right where that one is. You can cheat sometimes too. Take little crumbs of the color. Let go. There we go. Kind of, sort of, maybe. There we go. Alright, so one ear there. One ear there. Is my tool clean? Or is there red on it? There we go, we're good. Uh-oh. Apparently had little black flecks. Yeah. So here's kind of where we cheat on the swirls. There we go. And now... since they're all very thick, uninterrupted kind of lines, we'll just smooth them so they blend in a little more. And look a bit more mixed in with the clay, and ta-da! Alright, I need a contrasting color for her mask. I don't know if this is gonna be too dark. Let's see. Oh shoot. Maybe just a darker green. Dang it. Just looking at it, that looks really pretty. All right. Oop. Oh, the plug. Like, why did I take out an extra blob of green? Doy. Because the plug was not thick enough for such a beefy head. That's okay. It's easy enough to fix. Alright. So there's our head base. Now I just need to get this darker color green mixed. Yeah, I wasn't sure. But I think it's dark enough and different enough that it'll work. Mm. No, we do not have air bubbles. Brilliant. You guys are always a little bit tricky because I love the look of the mask. A little muzzle marking and around the eye marking. But it is a tiny bit fiddly to get the clay to adhere well. And be like nice and smooth and consistent and not have that little edge where you can feel the difference between one clay starting and another beginning. Ideally, you want it kind of seamless. I am definitely gonna have to soften this up a little bit to do the eyes. At least it's only a tiny piece. That's good. It's not silly putty, but it's definitely softer. I've almost got the base for this baby down. And then I can start having fun customizing it. we're gonna stick with those. I was hemming and hawing over bead color because it's like, do I do hematite? Do I want to try and do green eyes? No, let's not make it all one-toned. Let's. I don't like this bead though. This'll do. Want that little pop of contrast. All right. So let's get our mouth. Okay. So. Little neuter nostrils. We've got our little crystals, since this one is a female. Okay, so typically these guys have little teethers and then spikes down their forehead. I think what I'm gonna do, let me just double check. Confirming on the spikes because I know there was a little bit of change. Okay, it is too. She's gonna definitely be not great standard because I think what I'm gonna do is instead of just having your average little straight pointy spikes, let's move this out of the way. Hi babies. Hey puppers. I am going to use brown. And I'm gonna do them as branches, and I think I'm gonna give her little kind of antlery protrusions from her forehead to kind of keep on that green man theme. So we've got brown. This is all Cosclay, so we're gonna have to scooch everything off to the side so it doesn't get crumbly crumbs in the unfinished clay. See, this is like the one kind of bleh part about Cosclay. I love it. I love the flexibility. I love the finished texture. But this like super dry crumbly, this is how it starts. It's almost like Sculpey Primo that's been drying on the shelf for too long. And I mean, my new packages of Cosclay are like this. So I'm presuming it's something to do with the rubber in the formula. I'm not 100% sure as to the whys. I just know that whenever I'm working with Cosclay, it's like, all right, make space. You gonna need it. Okay. See if I can make kind of a tan color to streak through it. And see, it's funny because once you get it going, you can see it's almost got that, it's not chewing gum, but it's got that very like super soft conditioned, and it stretches out before it breaks. Which again, I'm fairly certain is just the rubber in the mixture and their formula. But it is interesting when you're conditioning it because it starts out so just crumbly. And then it gets like super conditioned Sculpey. Really, really soft. And see, this is a nice brown, but it's not quite as dark a brown as I want, so I'm definitely gonna hit up the black. A little bit goes a long way. I almost want to even say a tiny bit of red to make the color a little richer. Let's see where that brings us. I think between the fact that I put hand lotion on and the fact that I've got the space heater down by my feet, it's helping this condition way faster than usual. Normally I've got to work at it for a while and just like really mash the clay, but oh, I keep wanting to push with this hand. Maybe if I do it on this portion, it doesn't hurt. It's a little closer to what I was looking for. Oh, it's a little bit too pinky. I don't want to add so much black that it's just dark, 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 you know? Because then it ends up very kind of one note. Maybe. I have this dark bluish gray. Let's see what this does. It's funny because I'm used to mixing colors of polymer clay. The Cos clay is very similar to Sculpey in a lot of ways, but the colors are a little bit, I don't want to say unpredictable because that's not really accurate. It's just interesting the way they combine. And again, I don't know if that has something to do with their formula and what they add to it to allow for that plasticity. I am unsure. Chemistry is not my forte, so. But it is interesting, just as I sculpt, to kind of mentally note the differences and go, oh, okay, this one reacts like this, that one reacts like that. It's been an interesting journey since I first started using Cos clay when they first came out versus now, you know. Let's see how this looks. Hmm. That got my finger! That's the other thing. When the cosplay gets really sticky, it gets a little bit challenging to get it off your hand. Kinda sorta feel like I maybe want to dust these with the pastels just to get a little more gradient on them. So they're feeling a little I don't quite know. They just don't feel quite right yet. Maybe. Let's see what happens. We do 2 different tones. Do. Right. do I have... I don't have that tool down here. Dang it. I have a really neat tool that is functionally... Oh, I know I can mimic it, though, kind of. A neat tool that is functionally a whole bunch of wire wrapped around a wooden dowel repeatedly, and it crisscrosses, and it's fantastic for when you want to do wood texture, because you just roll the roller over, and it gives you this neat not consistent, but like consistently inconsistent, I guess, wood grain. It's a very cool little tricky tool. But I think it is packed away. That's alright, that still looks fairly branch-like, I think. And then a lot of the tools and techniques with polymer clay is just sort of, you kind of, you wing it, you guess. Alright, those are gonna have to get cooked separately so that I can sort of install them into the worm, but that's okay. Alright. And now all these weird little scraps of aluminum foil. Like, oh yeah, those are my sculpting tools. Alright, I definitely need to clean in my hands and my workspace before I start working with the greens for the leaves. The leaves are all pre-cooked, but if I'm gonna touch my green little wormy again, ugh. Yeah, see. I love the chalk pastels, but you definitely need to kind of be mindful when you are using them and before you touch a differently colored piece of clay. Otherwise we cross-contaminate all over the place. Okay. The tweezers, there's that. Oh, wait a minute, where is my... This is horns. I don't want this, or at least I don't want this at the moment. Excuse me, pupper. Sweet boy. Are you the container with... No, you're not. Where is the container with the leaves? Hi, I'm right here, baby. I'm right here. Nope. Okay, friends, I will be right back. Well, that's a bit of a bother. When you have an entire little plastic, not Tupperware bin, but the little segmented container jobbies, completely filled, or almost filled, with pre-sculpted cosplay leaves and mushrooms and other little kind of botanical twists. And you could have sworn you've seen it recently. But buggered if you could remember where. Oh, wait a minute. Yay! Was right in the heckin' drawer. Oh, what's the matter? What's the matter? What? Hi, hello. Whoop! Hi, hello. Oh, I love you. You are not a small dog. I need you off. Oh, hey, go lie down. Holy crap. Sorry, she is a whole lot of dog. Ow. Yes, cross-contamination is bad. Ooh. So yeah, I pre-sculpted a whole mess of cosplay leaves, and they're nice and bendy and flexy, and they've been actually stamped with stamps that I made from Leaves in the Garden. So it's neat. Oh, this one shows it really well. You get the actual, I want to say these were mint leaves that I used for the veining. But then they're all pre-sculpted. So instead of having to sculpt them and bake them and then take them and install them, you've got them pre-made. So you can have your do I want to do mushrooms? Do I want to do... Anyway, they're easier to attach your sculpted thing if they are pre-done. It's more of a, Alright, if we're going for more of a traditional-esque green man, green woman, green being. Let's see what we got here. And the idea with all this being that then you get a nice variation of leaf, come back. Different leaves, different shapes, different colors. Oh, big yawn. I'm so sorry. I know, I'm boring, girly. Do. Dogs are just like, you're not throwing a ball, you're not giving us treats. The heck, Mom. Yeah, okay. I like that mix. So let's see. Let's pull up a Green Man-esque. Oh, acorns, that's another fun thing I could add. Alright, so shoot. I may actually have to pause this for now because looking at it, I could put her teeth in. I really kind of need to get the antlers and the spikes in first and then put the leaves around them, because if I try and put the leaves on or in and then add the spikes, I'm going to be working around all of these other pieces, and that is definitely going to make life trickier. So, I did not stop to consider that bit. I can lay it out though. I can certainly lay out the leaves. Some nice little ones. Kind of medium mid-size ones. Larger ones, two big ones. Okay, alright. Kinda got our vibe going. Alright, well, I can at the very least... Hey, sweet girl. Hey, hello. She is looking at me so very betrayed. I think when I rolled the chair back, I inadvertently caught the tip of her tail. Poor baby. You okay? Yeah. Oh, I get kisses. Thank you. I love you. You go, girl. Alright, so let's get her teeth installed at the very least, and I can sculpt up a couple of acorns really quick. And those actually can bake with the cosplay. That way I'm just kind of installing all of her planty bits. And when I say giving her her teeth, this is another one of those things that I like to pre-make ahead of time. So all of these tiny little grains of rice, functionally, are wee little bits of cosplay that are sculpted and baked ahead of time. I like the bigger teeth. Especially for what amounts to like a forest deity. So I'll show you. Now, if I were sculpting these out of raw clay and attempting to install them, it would be an absolute pain in the butt, because I'd be trying to smush soft clay into soft clay. Meanwhile, if I instead, much like when you're trying to nail two boards together, drill yourself a little pilot hole, and then take one of these nice, firm, cooked teeth, and I'll dab them a tiny bit in the liquid Sculpey, or liquid cosplay in this case, so it works like glue. And just push them right into place. Rather, I totally just scratched that. There we go. Nice firm cooked teeth. You know, you don't want your teeth mushy. Please. We used to joke that if FBI was ever listening into phone conversations or looking at text messages, when I was in the height of making worms and talking to the other sculptors, or my seamstress, was, oh yeah, I've got like 18 heads in the oven. Yeah, I did 2 babies this time. I need, 18 bodies. 2 of them need to be the little small baby ones. Some of the conversation when we were just speaking in worm prep shorthand, getting ready for cons, was like, taken out of context, this all sounds like an organized ring of serial killers. There we go. But see, now, because the teeth were pre-cooked, I was able to just grasp them with the tweezers and push them into place in the uncured clay. Whereas if the clay teeth were uncooked, I'd be poking those holes and then trying to sculpt a tiny little thing and insert it into the softer clay and hope that it went in and that my big clumsy hands didn't smush them because they're so tiny. And this is much easier. When here's a tiny little piece of, like, itty bitty piece of clay. When I'm sculpting teeth, I'm literally just kind of going like this and dropping. Like, I've got a big long noodle of clay and I'm ripping off little pieces and dropping, and it's just one after another after another. And functionally, they really do look like grains of rice. But then they get cooked and they become teeth for worms or for dragons or for whatever I happen to be sculpting. Yeah, no, it absolutely, taken out of context, you kind of go, nice firm cooked teeth. I don't want to have Thanksgiving over your house. Here, have some pie. No, thank you. What kind of pie is it? Mincemeat. Nope, I'm good. Thanks, pass. Definitely one of those shorthand things that makes sense in context. Out of context, might sound a little bit alarming. And there we go. She, aside from getting her fabulous designs, is all set. Oh, I was gonna do a couple of the little acorns. Okay, I know acorns have a darker top and a lighter bottom area. And I'm only going to need a couple of them, so let's see. How am I going to make these? This is definitely one of those. This would have been better for you to make ahead of time. Think ahead. Alright, so the caps are functionally a really dark brown. The nut portion itself is like a reddish brown, like a coppery red. So let's take this color, let's add a bit of black to it to darken it up for our caps. I am 100% certain there are other fields of work that have jargon that would make the average person go, what now? I know I've heard Clint talking to some of his coworkers, and he works in IT, so some of it's like, what? Oh, that was the gustiest sigh. I just got the most pitiful from Hope. Mother, I have only had 2 chewies today. I have run outside multiple times, but clearly not enough. And now I am sitting here unpet, unsnuggled, unbutt-scritched. Life is just hard. She's got these really pretty eyes too. Like, I would call them brown, but they're not. They're a darker brown towards the center, but all along the edge they're gold. So she gives you these big, sad puppy dog eyes whenever she wants something, and she just looks so pitiful. It's like, oh, sweetie. Oh yeah, I think that's a good acorn color. Let's see, they have kind of a pointy edge. Oh my god, we're back to sculpting itty-bitty tiny things. Right? What is the point of existence? Oh, so sad. Like, cats are really good at guilt tripping you. They absolutely are. They just, I don't know, they have that feline ability to convey so much at a glance. But when you talk about guilting and sad baby face, man, dogs have it nailed. Cats are very good at disdain. Cats are very good at kind of keeping their humans in line. But when it comes to sad eyes and baby face and like, mother, father, why do you not love me anymore? I have never in my life met a cat that could hold a candle to a dog. They're phenomenal at the sad baby guilt trip. This is probably more than I need, but you know what? These are freaking tiny enough that if I drop one and it goes rolling across the floor into the ether, never to be found again, I would like to not have to go, dang it, I had planned on doing 6, and now I've only got 5, and now I'm gonna have to change my design and the layout, and arg! Be like, oh, crap, I lost one. Oh well. You know what, I think I'm making them a little too pointy at the tip. Now let's see, how do we get the caps? I think... Let's try... I feel like that's potentially believable as a acorn. You know what though? I think what I'm gonna do... I'm gonna use the smaller end of a tool to expand the caps and make them hollow. I feel like that one was just a little bit too big, so... It will never cease to amaze me how such a large dog can curl up into such a small, tight cinnamon roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, when she stands up, she is tall. And she is approaching 70 pounds. And is an absolute runaway train when she's excited. And yet, cinnamon roll. Like, nope, I am tiniest, weeest, ittiest, bittiest pupper ever. A so small. Right? She's a cutie. It's funny, we went to our local kind of mom and pop ice cream place. Has all sorts of gluten-free baked goods and stuff, and they also have doggy ice creams. So they will take plain, ordinary vanilla ice cream. They will mix crushed up milk bones and dog cookies in it, and then they will do single scoops in a little paper cup and freeze it like really solid so that they have to lick at it instead of just horfing the whole thing down. and they sell them as pup cups. They're adorable. We realized that Sunday was Hopscotcha Day. It had been a year since Clint brought her home. And so we're like, oh, we should celebrate. We should go to our local ice cream place and get them pup cups. And it had been quite a while since Hope had been in the car. And the last car ride was to the vet, which she absolutely does not like. So the whole family being in the car, including her and Wilder, was like, oh my gosh, and Daddy's talking in the happy voice. And so something exciting is happening. And we got there, and they weren't open on Monday, so it was like, oh, baby. Sorry. But I was driving, the kid was sitting next to me, he was in the back seat, and the, like, hatchback of the car, because I've got an SUV, the side was pulled down so the dogs could, you know, kind of spread out. She just kept jumping back and forth between the back and the seat next to him. And again, she's not small. But at one point she really, really wanted to be in the front seat with mommy because, hey, when I go on long car trips with daddy, I sit in the passenger seat. And the kid trying to get her to back off and Clint trying to get her to sit down and be calm because, you know, oh, happy car ride. This is exciting. But I'm driving and he's got this big doggy dump truck of a butt in his face. Because she's trying so hard to get to the front so she could see everything. Because something exciting is happening, clearly. But then you see her like now, where she's just, no, I am the goodest cinnamon bun. I am curled up. Cinnamon roll. Quietly loafing. Meanwhile, if I say Outside, the two of them will jump up from their positions of alleged slumber and barrel ass downstairs to the back porch at subsonic speed. And woe betide anyone who happens to be between them and the back door, because it's like a bull in a frickin' china shop. Wilder gets excited too, but he's like all of 35 pounds, and he would be smaller if he didn't have such long legs. He's a healer mutt, so he's like leggy, but he's not big and bulky the way she is. She's just like Mack truck. There we go. I have tons of, oh my god, they're so freaking small. Teeny tiny itty bitty little acorns. I would love nothing more than to take my X-Acto and do the little crissy-crossy patterns on the tops of them. But I'm not sure. I'll give it a shot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without smushing them. Maybe if I... Oh my gosh. I almost can't add any pressure, so you can't really... You know what? I'm not going to bother. At this size, nobody's going to see that detail unless they're staring at the thing with a magnifying glass. Oh. Speaking of freight trains, Daddy is awake. He came down to let them out to go potty, and the borking begins. Oh my gosh, outside, outside, outside! There is no joy like the puppy bark joy of dogs getting to go outside and run like absolute maniacs. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh no, come back, little berry. Oh, that's right, I think I intended holly berries at one point. I could... No, I'm not sculpting holly leaves right now. I'm done. It's time to wash the hands, lotion them up again, maybe possibly put a lidocaine patch on. Should not have tried to roll clay. It's fine. I will baby it for a day and be right back to it. But hey, 2 cute babies almost completed. So I've got 5 more heads left to do. Oh, I can knock those out this weekend. And then I can start assembling bodies and putting together the boxes and all that good stuff. Yay! Alright, I'm gonna call this decent progress. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and keeping me company. I hope the rest of your day goes fabulous. And to anyone else lurking, thank you so much for coming and supporting the stream and hanging out and listening to me completely lose my voice. I hope everyone has a really great weekend. I know things are getting kind of crazy. We're starting to amp up and get into that holiday season, and don't forget to take some time for yourself, take some time to spend with your loved ones, and just sort of sit back and chill and enjoy being and existing, because we all get so wrapped up in the hustle, bustle, and rush of everyday life that it's all too often easy to forget about taking those moments. So, all my love, everyone be well. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, friends.